Yes, sir. Back at it again. Alright. Yes, sir. Back at it again. Back at it like a crack at it. Drunk Tours podcast in the building. It's your boy Yates from Atlanta, aka Wakanda.
And I'm your other host, Jarrell from Portland, Oregon. Gresham, be exact.
Ooh, you said Gresham? Mm-hmm. They got a Gresham out there?
Yep.
Shout out Gresham, man. Hey, what we talking about today, bro?
Self-care. Why is self-care important? And how, and actually what is self-care exactly too? Like, we know, obviously, think about self-care, people think like, you know, self-pampering, all that type of stuff, but you know, obviously it's a physical, mental, and spiritual thing all together. So I'll let you give you a take on it first.
Nah, let me hear yours first, bro.
I think, you know, self-care obviously is definitely important. Self-care is pretty much how I live my life 24 hours a day.
Nah, me.
But I feel like it's a self-care is basically, to me, is just that sweet spot between being selfless and being selfish. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you gotta have that balance within yourself of just, you know, doing kind things with people, because obviously that makes you feel better internally and stuff. And at the same time, like, knowing, you know, when it's my time and when it's my share and when it's my me time. So I feel like me, self-care, you know, a lot of things I usually do is just pretty much just anything that I want to do. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like self-care just comes down to not what everybody else say is self-care, but more so like what, you know, resonates with you, that's important, rather that's, you know, spending time reading, you know, spending time playing video games. You know, some people's self-care is like, man, I'm gonna go give me some pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like a night out and getting some ass is somebody's self-care. Like somebody's self-care might be,
well, this self-care is probably just going out. Getting the ass is like the benefit of going out.
Right, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause you don't know if you like, cause then if you don't get no pussy, are you no longer taking care
Well,
of
I was speaking more so for the guys out there who enjoy buying sex.
Oh,
like,
okay, yeah, purchasing, yeah, okay, all right. Because that's a guarantee. Like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Touche.
Because, more so for people that, because, you know, like I said, it's for whatever that makes you happy. Some people that makes motherfuckers happy, you know what I'm saying? So, like, some people...
How you feel about that?
About what, buying pussy?
Like, it make, yeah.
I've never done it.
I know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it making somebody happy?
I think it just shows a lack of something inside of you majority of the time. Like, I feel like, because I'm like, you shouldn't need some pussy to feel good about yourself, you know what I'm saying? Or feel like that should make you happy. Like, I feel like if you gotta, because I mean, self-care, the whole idea is finding things that make you enjoy yourself. You know, the whole idea is not to put the pleasures of somebody else or something else determine, like, you know, how you feel, which is, you know, which is important, because yeah, it's like I like self-care for me is like spend some time playing some video games or something, doing something I like to do. But if the video games ain't there, like, or something like that, like, I can't be like, I'm depressed, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's just a matter of, that's why it's important to have hobbies and tap into yourself and tap into all the things that you enjoy. That way, you know, like, when certain things can't satisfy you in that particular moment, you know, it's something else. Like, obviously COVID, some people like, yo, self-care for me is, you know, going out to Mexico, going to the beach, having a trip, like, traveling. So obviously right now times is different, so traveling is not as available. So now it's kind of like, what else can I do for self-care now? Like, what's another thing? So I feel like it's just having a bunch of different things that you enjoy, that you can do for yourself, that you don't have to depend on a whole lot of outsourcing for, you know.
I feel like with self-care, the core purpose is to remind yourself that you're already happy by doing something that makes you happy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like, I feel like we get distracted into thinking stuff is fucked up when it's not. But it's kind of like, when you deal with so much, it's easy to feel like this is all there is. You know what I mean? It's like your car break down, it's like, oh, life sucks. And it's like, no, like, it's one thing you're dealing with right now. It's not that big of a deal. You already know how you're going to deal with it. So there's no point of stressing about it. But we make it our whole lives in that moment. And usually we'll stretch it out until it's fixed. Those are people who, like, live in a bad state. But I feel like self-care is about, like, doing something that won't allow you to think negative pretty much for a moment of time. So whether that's like going for a run, meditating, shopping, whatever it is, it's just something that you love that just reminds you like, I live a good life or I have a good life. You know, I feel like and I feel like it's important because it's not really like a financial thing. Cause I know like as men, you know, I feel like our self-care is usually not seen the same way it is for women, where it's like spa day or getting their hair done. You know, like it might be going to the barber shop, you know what I mean, just talking to your barber about this bitch tripping, or like calling your homie up like, bro, you good? You know, what's going on, whatever. You know, like for me, it might be going for a run.
Hooping or something.
Yeah, hooping, like whatever, just take your mind off of the problems of life. Because it's just like, it's just a reminder that you're already happy. Like we get distracted away from being happy, I feel like. And it's like we'll get distracted and take that on as like our new baseline. Instead of like always baselining back at happy. Like shit happens. Shit's always gonna happen where you gonna be upset or anxious or sad or depressed or whatever, like in a moment. But your baseline should still be happiness. And that is a lot easier when you're always finding ways to take care of yourself. And especially if you form it into your daily routine.
Right.
Like for me, one thing I do, I wake up and I write a specific affirmation into a notebook. So as soon as I wake up, sit up, write, money comes to me easily, frequently, and abundantly. I've been doing that for a long time. So I got like, you know, a notebook, you know, I just fill it, I just write one line every day. And it's like having that routine, like, makes my baseline like back to grateful. Where it's just like, I start my day off being grateful. So if after I write that and I get out the bed, then I make up my bed, and then after that I pick up my phone and it's like, let's say it's just hella bullshit, my baseline is still already grateful. So I can handle that bullshit now. Whereas before I picked up, you know, certain things and put in my routine throughout the day, I would just roll out of bed like, damn, this nigga in jail, or damn, this person died, or not saying like, it gotta be people, I don't know, it could even be celebrities or whatever. Like, you look at your phone, it's like, damn, Virgil died, you know, from Off-White. It's like, damn, now your whole day is, you know, whereas if I wake up and I think of something that has me grateful, I'd be like, man, Virgil passed, man. I'm happy he left us all this art to appreciate. You know, I'm happy you know, like, it just changes your whole mindset. So for me, self-care is important to like plug into your life daily, like in small doses. You know what I mean?
No, I feel like that's definitely important. And like you said, like you were talking about men doing it a different type of way, and then like women talking about the spa day. And I feel like that's even more important, like kind of the way that you went about it versus like having like a day thing. Because then it kind of like to stay away from that, like you've been doing all the stuff for everybody else, and then now it's kind of like my day or my turn type thing, rather than like implement it into like an everyday characteristic or activity that way. Like your life is just self-care, because then it's like you're always just focused on your inner peace daily, rather than like going through these periods of time without self-reflection, without self-appreciation, and then you just kind of falling into these like waves of funks, you know, because you're not keeping up with like, you know, your maintenance of like yourself and everything.
Like one thing I just thought about it now while we talk about this, that I gotta pick back up. I used to hug my girl for like 10 seconds every day, and I'd kiss her for like 6 seconds. I don't know why I stopped. Probably just busy. But that used to be nice. I used to do it for her just so she felt like loved and appreciated randomly, like every day. But I just realized like that used to be great for me. You know what I mean? Like I used to be able to feel good, one, giving that to her, and then two, receiving it. And it's something so simple, like 10 seconds.
Right. But if you realize just the difference, like when you actually hug for somebody for a long time, like it's like enough time to like trigger something extra, and like then just like a quick like, oh hey, like, cause it just feels so informal when you see people, and it's just like a, you know, like you see somebody you ain't seen in a minute, you're like, oh you know, it's different when you actually see them and you're like, it's like almost feeling that inhale, at least a solid like
And it's scientifically proven that a long embrace actually releases, like, a lot of, like, a child, it's been reported that, like, children, let's say if a child hears a thunderstorm and they're really, really anxious and they're afraid and they run to their parent and the parent hugs them for a while, scientifically it's been proven that the child can actually release that trauma from their body. And that's why, like, a lot of times, like, kids, when they scared and you hug them, like, they calm down. It's the same with adults. It's just, it's not as evident. Like, but sometimes, like, I don't know, like,
or it's only during like super traumatic moments.
Exactly.
Instead of making it like because like you're talking about the compound effect. Like I think about like that on the terms of just like negativity and just like the hardships of life. We might go through like every now and then like some serious trauma, like somebody passing or you know, like losing like, you know, a job or something, a car breaking down, whatever. But like, you know, but over time, like, I mean, the big things, you know, happen every now and then, and we just really embrace for that. But over time, all the shit is just compacting over and over and over again, like just stacking up that we just kind of neglect. And you know, you don't really have any hugs in between and you know, any like stress release of those.
So when it comes to hugging, you know, just, you know, show a little love, give a little physical touch to the people you care about. Let them know you're there. Let them know you care about them, you know. And sometimes saying it not enough. Sometimes they need to feel your presence too. So, you know, a little hug, a little kiss, a little hand hold, you know, with dudes, you know, a little fist pound, you know, a little. Sometimes you gotta put that arm around the shoulder, like, my boy, I hit him on the chest. You know, let people know you love them, you know, and find a way to do it more often, you know.
So yeah, I think that sums up the topic for today about self-care and why it's important and how you can make sure you kind of stay on top of that. I think the kind of thing that we concluded today is try to keep up with it every day. It's an everyday build and grind, you know, to make sure you keep taking care of your mental and your physical of yourself. And so make sure y'all
try to build a routine around it where it's like your daily habits and routine that helps you get back to that baseline. You know, plug small things that encourage you to be happy. You know, small things that always bring you back to that baseline, to be grateful, to, you know, be joyous, you know, just positive feelings. You always want to revert back to those positive feelings. So plug them in throughout your day, you know, randomly. Whether it's like, hey, that first text, I'm gonna say like, man, thank God for another day. Or when your feet touch the ground when you get out of bed, or when you first get in your car, be like, I'm gonna have a good day. That whatever, just create small habits, you know, that you can do daily, you know. For sure.
But yeah, make sure y'all tap in the Drunk Tourist podcast. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you think, why you think self-care is important, and what you do to take care of yourself. Make sure y'all follow us all platforms on social media. Follow me personally, King of the Goat on Instagram.
Hoes in the Pocket on IG. Drunk Tourist podcast on everything else. Tap in and let us know what you do for self-care below. You know, I actually want to read that because maybe I can pick some up.
If you enjoyed this, make sure y'all like and subscribe and reshare it. Tap in.